Hello everyone, this is Tormuse, and today I'm going to be playing a mod that I made for Doki Doki Literature Club. This thing will show on the screen here any second. There it goes. uh, entitled Would You Love Me? Yeah, what can I say about this mod before I start? It's difficult to categorize. I mean, you'll see. It's like is it a comedy? Is it a drama? Like, I don't know. I guess a little of both, I suppose. I I did get some criticism already for the fact that it didn't fit neatly into one little box. Like, people are saying, "Oh, you shouldn't have put some socio-political commentary in your comedy mod," and I'm like, I don't know. I think I clearly delineated which parts were the serious parts, which parts were the silly parts. I don't know. I think it's possible to inject humor into like serious commentary. Um, uh, I mean, I did it with my my anti-suicide PSA. Says no to suicide. And this one, I mean, it's gonna deal with abortion among other things. Um, which is like a topic which is basically impossible to talk about without it getting politicized. Um, it's just a highly charged, you know, it's an emotional topic. It's a politically charged topic. There's there's a lot I could say about that topic. But anyway, the yeah, the title of the mod, Would You Love Me, is as the logo suggests, it shows a pair of, oh hey, welcome to the stream, not Subway, hi, I'm new here, welcome in. Yeah, first time chatter I see, it's cool, it's cool. Did you find your way here from DDMC, modding, just server, or actually, maybe I posted this link in a bunch of places, so could it be any number of ways you find your way here. But anyway, welcome in. Yeah, playing a mod that I made. Monica pose. Yeah. As you can see from the logo, yeah, that shows a picture of a pair of worms. It's based on the meme about "Would you still love me if I was a worm?" That was the basic start of the premise of the mod. I mean, you'll see when I say start. I'm not going to start it up just yet because Twitch likes to throw an ad break in the first 5 minutes of the stream, and it's a bit of a nuisance. But it says it's going to come up in 2.5 minutes. I'm gonna let that ad break play before I actually start the mod. So right now I'm just deliberately killing time. The yeah, hopefully we'll get past get past the ad break and I'll be able to breeze through it. I mean, the mod isn't that long. It's like 600 lines, I think it was. If you estimate like 5 minutes per 100 lines, that's like 30 minutes. But I'm probably gonna go on rambling commentary. Hey, and Good Grace here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Abortion Review. I think that the service should be available and covered and not looked down on. Yeah, there you go. Hey, thank you. High five to that. Yes. I'm very much, yeah. Cards on the table here. I'm very much pro-choice. I think it's every woman's right, every individual's right to decide what they do with their body, and it's important to have access to safe medical procedures. Because as somebody said, yeah, I agree it's unpleasant, but it should always be an option, always for choice. Yeah, cool. Welcome to the stream, Seltzerbot. No, seriously, as somebody put it, it's not possible to ban abortions. You can only ban safe abortions, because if people can't do it medically from a clinic, they're going to try to find some other way to do it that is unsafe. Because some people, they get desperate about that sort of thing. Yeah, like just having access to safe abortion services is important. It's for the health and well-being of pregnant people. And this is an especially topical subject because here I'm I'm just trying to fill in time here. Roe v. Wade got overturned in the U.S. very recently, in the last couple of years. When was that happened? It was pretty recent. Roe v. Wade being a legal precedent which protected abortion rights across the United States, and now that's gone. And the every single judge on the Supreme Court promised that they wouldn't touch Roe v. Wade, so they lied. But that's how that current administration goes these days, I suppose. Makes sense. It would be the most choice to make. Oh yeah, of course. Okay, now there is an ad break imminently. It's coming imminently. I'm gonna take a quick break. I know it's awkward taking a break right at the beginning of the stream, but that's the way Twitch is operating. So I'm gonna do that. I'll be right back, and we'll start the mod when I get back. Link. And I'm back again. Such a necessary amount of suffering happens when you take the option away. Yeah, couldn't fathom thinking I had any choice over women's body. Yeah, I know. I don't get that whole drive to like have that, have control over other people like that. Just watch the worst ad of my entire life. Oh no, sorry to hear that. What was it about? So about I'm curious myself. Got the company about some opera singer was opera singing some guy praises. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, I was going to comment on GGG's comment there that yeah, I mean, like if I was in a relationship, a committed relationship, and my girlfriend slash wife got pregnant, and she wanted to have an abortion, I mean, I'd be sad about it, but ultimately it's her choice, so I would support it. I mean, I sort of, I would like kids someday, but it's it's still her choice. Like, has to be under the right circumstances. Anyway, let's just start this thing up. I've rambled on long enough. It's such a cute logo. That's Nuxel's work, by the way. Nuxel's the artist who drew that. Anyway, here we go. Remember, just follow my lead. Okay, let's do this. Monica and Sayori are the last two to come into the club room. Love the logo. Yeah, it's cute. Okay, everyone, gather around. I have an announcement to make. Or rather, we have an announcement to make. Oh? Did you and Sayori finally get engaged? Yeah. I just start by saying, okay, I'm going to go on long rambling tangents as I go along, behind the scenes comments. But I was deliberately, okay, one thing I should say, I think some people are confused by is there is a bit of a reimagined setting here, like they call it an alternate timeline, alternate universe, whatever. So that so the audience shouldn't take anything for granted. I'm sort of deliberately being misleading here, so that the audience sort of figures out what's going on the fly as it goes. Like Natsuki making a little snarky comment here is sort of meant to imply that maybe they're about to announce that they're a couple, or that they're getting married, or what. But anyway, I'll move on. I'll come back to that. Anyway, you decided if you guys finally get engaged? No, I mean, not exactly. You're not far off though. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Well, the thing is, oh geez, I just got nervous all of a sudden. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, what are these emojis? That's cute. Money, do you want me to tell them? No, it's fine, I can do this. Sorry, it's just difficult for me to talk about. But Yuri, Natsuki, you're my closest friends, aside from Sayori, of course, and I want you two to be the first to know. Monica reaches her hand up to Sayori, who takes it in hers, interlocking their fingers together. Monica's pregnant! Sorry, I couldn't keep it in any longer. Yeah, like I said, deliberate bit of misdirection, like they're going to make some announcement about being in a relationship or getting married, but it's like, no, she's pregnant, and Natsuki and Yuri are just like, what? and I'm reliably informed that some people in the audience were a little blindsided by that too. That's quite a twist I've got. Yeah, it's deliberate. But hey, I mean, you probably knew it was going to come up at some point. I mean, I threw a big content warning on the download page and in the text file that comes with it, content warning, discussion of abortion. So you kind of had to know that was coming at some way or another. Anyway, moving on. Oh, this is a surprise. Congratulations? ... question mark? Thanks, Yuri. How far along are you? We figure it's just over 2 months now. Wait. Hold on. Who's the father? Monica, did you cheat on Sayori? No, 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 nothing like that. She really didn't, I promise. It happened when we were messing around with the code. It was sort of an accident. Didn't read the download thing. I was afraid of spoilers. Yeah, fair. I mean, the content warnings are there for people who need them. Not everyone feels the need to, for content warnings. So some people would rather be going unspoiled. Yeah, if that's the way you prefer it, all the power to you. But yeah, here is the next layer of world building in this alternate universe here. Sayuri openly talking about messing around with the code, meaning that they're all aware that they're in a game and they have the ability to mess around with the code. And the other element of world building, Natsuki jumping in with who's the father? Did you cheat on Sayuri? Because Yuri and Natsuki already know that Sayuri and Monica are in a relationship. They weren't here to announce that they're in a relationship. So it was, like I said, a bit of misdirection for people who might have expected to go to start from a different direction. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, it's kind of something Sayuri and I do sometimes, experimenting with changing variables to see what effect it has on the game. Ah, I see. So you were changing variables in Monica's character file and one of them made her pregnant? Yeah, pretty much. Sayuri, I don't think we should lie about that. It's just going to raise more questions. Are you sure? I mean, not really, but I think I'd rather be honest about it. I'm okay talking about it if you are. I know, thank you. I love you. I love you too. All right. If you two are done being mushy, could you explain how Monica got knocked up now? Right, of course. Monica takes a deep breath and slowly exhales. Okay, so fair warning, this is going to get a little weird. This is me apologizing to the audience in advance. The initial draft of this mod did not include this line or the one before it, for taking a deep breath, because it's like, oh boy, here we go. Anyway. Oh? This better be good. Well, you have to understand, Sayuri and I have been experimenting with the code for a while now, and sometimes we just get a little silly. I mean, you know how Sayuri is. Sometimes she just gets in silly, playful moods, And one day, she asked me if I would still love her if she was a worm. Just like in the meme. Yeah, exactly. And, just to make her point, she went and turned herself into a worm. She what? How? It turns out it's a pretty simple change. Just switch a few lines of code in your character file and you can turn yourself into any animal and easily change back again. Ooh, that sounds fascinating. Yeah, great. Fascinating. But what does any of this have to do with you getting preggers? Yeah. So there's the setup. Figured out how to turn themselves into animals. And she turned herself into a worm. Anyway. Moving on. I'm getting there. You see, I can be a little competitive, as I'm sure you know, and, well, not to be outdone, I turned myself into a worm too. It was a very silly thing to do, I know. I guess I was just in a weird sort of mood. Yeah, not gonna lie. If I could pick any animal to be, worm wouldn't be my first choice. What was it like? Oh, I'm glad you asked, because it was actually quite a profound experience. I suddenly couldn't see, because worms don't have eyes. And I couldn't hear either, or speak. And I was tiny and limbless and helpless, and it feels like it should have been scary, but it wasn't. I mean, I guess if I'd been out in the wild, I'd have to be scared that a bird was going to eat me, but something about being with Sayuri in her room made me feel safe. It was like all my concerns and worries I had as a human were suddenly gone. What's this emoji now? I'm not even sure what that is. Yeah, anyway. Like the whole world was gone, and all I was aware of what was immediately in front of me. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend every day as a worm, but I was glad I got to experience it once. It gave me a new perspective on everything. It's a worm? Is it a worm? I don't know. From this angle, it looks like a sphere. I don't know. Maybe my second monitor is a little too far back. I sort of have to squint at it sometimes. Yeah, I would have liked to have positioned these monitors differently, but the length of the cord wouldn't allow it. Oh well. Anyway. Yeah, I did want to comment on so there's some foreshadowing going on here. That was a piece of street at first. Yeah, there's a bit of foreshadowing going on, subtle foreshadowing in that Monica is like already experiencing a bit of embarrassment about talking about the story. Like she's over explaining herself. Saying, "Oh, I did it because I'm competitive, and yeah, I know it's silly. Yeah, I guess I was in a weird sort of mood. I didn't want to be outdone. Like, you know what I mean? Like she's over explaining it because she does like, crap. I know this is gonna sound weird. They're gonna judge me. But anyway, moving on. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend every day as a worm, but I was glad I got to experience it once. It gave me a new perspective on everything. And she wrote some really nice poetry about it afterwards. We don't have to tell them about that. They're such beautiful poems, though. I know, but they're also really private. Ooh, right, I get it. Hey, if you're done having your moment, are you gonna tell us how Monica got a bun in the oven or not? Yeah. Small detail that I really like here. Natsuki uses a different a different figure of speech every time. First, like what she was it? She said, "How did Monica get knocked up?" Then she said, "How did Monica get preggers?" Now she's asking, "How did Monica get a bun in the oven?" It's sort of her running thing here. Anyway, right. Okay, so we sort of had to do some research afterward to figure out what happened, and it turns out that worms are hermaphrodites. That means they have both boy parts and girl parts. Yeah, we think I got pregnant while I was a worm, and then the game still considered me to be pregnant when I turned back human. Wait, hold on. Monica, are you saying you had sex with a worm? It was Sayuri. It's not like it was any worm. It was my girlfriend. Sayuri and I are consenting adults in a loving relationship, and like don't usually talk about it, but sometimes we sleep together. It's a perfectly normal thing to do with someone you love. Normal for humans, maybe. I know that part was kind of weird. It was an accident. Like, I couldn't see anything, and I was still figuring out what body part was what, and all I knew was I was with Sayuri, and it just kind of happened. Are you sure it was Sayuri? If you couldn't see anything, maybe it was some random other worm. It was me. It was definitely me. I was there. It was kind of my fault. I couldn't see either, but once I realized Monica was a worm too, I kind of pounced on her. As you like using everyday words, so you're using tons of figures of speech to spice up her dialogue. Makes sense? Yeah. Hey, Legendary X Cowboys here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? What is this? Some kind of dating sim? Lol, you remember sim? Well, Doki Doki Literature Club is a deconstruction of the dating sim genre and visual novels in general, really. And this is a mod that I wrote for it. Man, if you're not already familiar with DDLC, this is going to seem very strange because this mod already takes a lot of things in a lot of weird directions. But yeah, as soon as I made the comment earlier about Monica over-explaining because of embarrassment, and she knew that Natsuki was going to give her a hard time about it, and she was like just immediately gushing explanations here. Anyway, moving right along. It's kind of my fault. I couldn't see either, but once I realized Monica was a worm too, I kind of pounced on her. No, wait, do worms pounce? I think they slither. Well, whatever I did, I was just really happy to be with Monica, and I was trying to give her a hug, only I didn't have arms, so I just kind of wrapped myself around her, and I got a little excited, and I maybe sort of got carried away. I thought we were just going to, I don't know, cuddle or something. Sorry. No, don't apologize. It's okay. You liked it. It was Sayuri. I wouldn't have said no even if I could. Well, I guess you got your answer, Sayuri. It turns out Monica loved you a little too much. This is so embarrassing. It's fine. I don't judge. Whatever floats your boat, right? Just never would have guessed that Monica's a worm fucker, that's all. Hey, be nice. I'm being nice. You two brought it up. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it. Guess this makes Sayuri the man of the relationship, huh? Please don't make fun. This is really hard for Monica to talk about. We're only telling you now because pretty soon it'll become obvious and we're going to have to tell you anyway. The important thing is, Monica and I are going to start a family together soon. How we got here isn't important. Thanks, Sayuri. Well, I for one would never dream of making fun of you for it. I think it's beautiful and romantic that you got to share a unique experience with someone you love. Thanks, Yuri. Yeah. Shoot, there's something I was going to say about all that. Yeah, like I said, this is going in weird directions. Like, they, like even king shaming me. No, it's like even saying out loud is just weird. Like they turn themselves into worms and then had sex while in worm form. Like what? What am I reading here? You know? And you think it's weird reading it? I had to write it, but you know, um, it's going somewhere. I promise. um. Anyway, yeah, Natsuki making fun, Yuri trying to express understanding and while being appreciative of the romantic gesture. Just despite it being kind of weird. Oh yeah, and subtle detail. You may have noticed when Monica made the comment about worms being hermaphrodites. Natsuki's expression changes to a confused one, while Yuri just has a look on her face like, "Oh no," like sort of implying that Yuri already knows what the word means, so she knows what's coming, but Natsuki hasn't figured it out yet. um, Anyway, moving right along. Also, it's probably a moot point now, but for future reference, our character files do have a variable for pregnancy chance. Natsuki and I discovered that the other day when we... Stop! Huh? Sorry, was I not supposed to talk about... Don't say another word. Sorry, I mean... Sorry. What was that all about? Okay. Monica, I'm sorry I made fun of you for the worm thing. I mean, we all have our secrets, right? And, I think it's brave of you to talk about it. Thanks, Natsuki. Yeah. So you're having a baby, huh? Yep. Cool. uh, yeah, abrupt change in the mood there. Yeah, I'm deliberately being mysterious about what it was that Yuri was about to say that Natsuki found so embarrassing that she had to stop her. Who knows what it is? Yuri and Natsuki apparently had some sort of conversation or exchange about the subject that Natsuki finds embarrassing and doesn't want to share. Yeah, Natsuki also sort of immediately takes that as a hit. Is like, okay, you know, I'm not going to explain that, so I'm just going to apologize instead. And Carolina's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Natsuki and Yuri are so still together. Yeah. But yeah, Natsuki coming to her senses and going, okay. Maybe I'm being too hard on Monica, making fun of her, revealing her secret. But I kind of like this. Yeah, so you're having a baby, huh? Like, it's just we're just. I think she's kind of like we're just gonna steamroll on past, pretend that awkward moment didn't happen. Just anyway. Uh, moving on. It must be a very exciting time for you. It sure is. I need to show you my list of baby names. I have 123 names for if it's a boy and 97 names for if it's a girl. Maybe you can help me narrow it down. Every time I ask Monica about it, she says there are too many other things to worry about first. Well, there are. We have to worry about getting a crib for them to sleep in, and baby clothes, and toys, and feeding, and the ethics of bringing a new life into a world full of so much uncertainty. And we need to figure out where we're going to live. I mean, we're both still living with our parents, and oh God, I haven't told my parents yet. They don't even know about the game. How am I going to explain this? It's okay. We'll think of something. You keep saying that. Sorry. I've just been kind of freaked out about this since we found out about it. I identity crisis writing block. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope you figure out your writer's block soon. I guess just like be here for real. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. All the overthinking. That's something that I find relatable. I mean, king of overthinking here. I did kind of wonder to myself when I wrote this these. I wanted to give the impression that Sayuri is just, I don't know, she sort of hyper fixates on coming up with names. 123 names is a lot. I kind of wonder if that's too many. Like she must have been at that list for a while. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. I'm just kind of been freaked out about this since we found out about it. Well, I can't blame you. Can't imagine how my dad would react if I told him I was going to have a special delivery. Yeah. At this point, I couldn't think of any more euphemisms for pregnancy for Natsuki to come up with. So I actually just did a Google search for euphemisms for pregnancy, and I just read through a list, and I liked special delivery the best, so I threw that in there. Anyway, moving on. I'd probably just have a my body, my choice moment. Natsuki. What? You have any idea how much trouble I'd be in? No way I'm dealing with that. Monica and Sayuri obviously have a completely different situation. We should be happy for them. Yeah, Monica doesn't think of doing anything like that, right, Monica? Right, Monica? I, Monica, are you considering getting an abortion? I, I don't know. Hmm. Oh, that hurts. Um, yeah, deliberate choice to put a long pause after that line there, because that line is there to delineate the more whimsical section from the more serious section here. Um, Also notice the music stopped. Um, and this is why I say, like, some people are saying, "Hey, don't put socio-political commentary in my goofy meme mod." I mean, I think I separated the goofy part from the serious part. Like, I like to think I put that transition there. Okay, like, um, but yeah, subtle detail. Monica looks sad and troubled through this whole exchange here, um, because she's sort of she's sort of lost in thought thinking about this, like the this notion of getting abortion was it actually has been on her mind, but she didn't want to admit it. Mm. I'm a political guy, so I enjoyed the mild political narratives and nuance. Yeah, thanks. I do my best. Um, but yeah, like Sayuri just up and asking her directly about it, she can't answer. She is afraid of answering. She doesn't like. I mean, it's gonna. You'll see in the next little bit, but she doesn't want to disappoint Sayuri because Sayuri is so excited about the pregnancy and all that. Um, so yeah, this is something that's like deeply troubling to Monica. Anyway, moving right along. I'm sorry. No, don't apologize. You did nothing wrong. It's just I never expected anything like this. I didn't know it was even possible, and it's just all so much. Like, I'm only 18. I'm not even done high school. I'm not ready for this. I mean, we were just having fun and being silly, and I never realized we were doing something that could have permanent consequences. And it's my fault. I was being irresponsible. I just lost control. I didn't mean to. I was just being stupid, and I made a terrible mistake. I didn't know you felt that way. I'm sorry. You look so happy and excited. I didn't want to say anything. I'm sorry for dumping this on you all of a sudden. I've just been feeling really overwhelmed. It's okay. I'd probably be a terrible mom anyway. No, don't think like that. My gosh, are you kidding? You're like the kindest, most giving, most loving person I've ever known. You'd be an amazing mom. Monica, listen to me. The reason I'm acting all happy and excited is I'm trying to cover up the fact that I'm terrified. I know that I'm just going to screw this up like I screw everything up. So, if you think we should not have a kid, then, like you said, that's probably the responsible thing to do. Sayuri, no. It's okay. I just thought you wanted it too. It's okay. I'm sorry. It's okay. Come here. Sayuri takes Monica into her arms as Monica starts sobbing into her shoulder. Sayuri strokes Monica's hair while making soothing sounds. It's okay. I still love you. Monica said it very muffled and stiffly. I love you too. I don't know if it helps, but it's probably probably worth keeping in mind that now that you know it's possible to get pregnant this way, there's no reason you couldn't just do it again in the future. I mean, you don't have to do it exactly the same way. I just mean this doesn't have to be the end. You can try again when you're both feeling ready. Sorry if I'm overstepping or anything. Thanks, Yuri. Thank you, Yuri. That helps a lot. And hey, I'm really sorry for giving you a hard time earlier. This is obviously really tough for you, and I was just being a big jerk. It's fine, Natsuki. No, really. No one should be judging you for this. You have to do what's right for you, because if you don't, then no one will. If anyone judges you for being pregnant, or for getting an abortion, or for anything, then screw them. You're not worth listening to. Thanks, Natsuki. Yeah. Eldritch gods are writing paradox? I'm presuming that Eldritch gods are playing a role in your role play then. Anyway, shoot, what was I gonna say? I was gonna comment on this. Yeah. Yeah. Sayuri descending into like self-deprecation is, kind of very Sayuri. Like, I'd be a terrible mom anyway. I'm acting, having excited to cover the fact I'm terrified. I'm just gonna screw this up, etc. Like, this is I don't know how well it comes across, but it's kind of like these are the things that Monica has been dreading that Sayuri would say. Like Monica. I mean, we don't really have a timeline for this. We don't know how long Sayuri and Monica have been together at this point. I mean, it's been at least a couple months, because Monica made the comment that she's like about 2 months pregnant. So like that's I mean, I don't know. If I'm honest, I didn't really think about it myself. Like, how long have they been seeing each other? But presumably Monica knows that Sayuri's depressed, and she's sort of been dreading the fact that she's gonna like descend into self-deprecation and so on, and that may have fed into her reluctance to talk about this in the first place, and that's why it didn't come up until now. But more than that, like all this is just all of Monica's like fears and insecurities. Well, not all of them, but a whole bunch of Monica's fears and insecurities falling out all at once. Um, and in my mind, the most telling lines are the ones where like, it's my fault, I was being irresponsible, I just lost control. Um, because she's someone who's used to being in control. Plus, this is also foreshadowing. There's going to be some references to her parents later and the pressure they put on her, um, and the whole importance of being responsible. Um, this is like the one time she let her hair down, so to speak, and did something silly and irresponsible, and this is what it got her. And so she's like beating herself up over it, calling herself stupid, saying it was a terrible mistake, and so on. Self-deprecating Yuri, yeah. 1/4 Eldritch God making me a Gary Stew by accident? Oh, okay. Is Gary Stew, is that like a Mary Sue, or like a male version of Mary Sue, or is that a character that I'm unaware of? Anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is going to be a recurring theme. This whole mod is about Monica's internal conflict. I'm going to expand on that more later. I just got to, I have to comment on it. I mean, it's posted publicly, so you can go see it. Someone posted a review of this mod and criticized the fact that it has a lack of conflict, and because everyone is immediately supportive of everyone. And like, yes, the girls are supportive of each other. The conflict is within themselves. Specifically, Monica's conflict is within herself. As my English teacher taught me back in the day, there are 3 kinds of conflicts. There's conflict between 2 people, there's a conflict between a person and society, or there's a conflict, an internal conflict between a person and themselves, And this is Monica conflicted with herself. The conflict. Okay, not. There's the conflict of like, should I get an abortion or not? Yes. There's also the conflict of wanting to be in control and do the right thing and be responsible and please her parents, but also wanting to be free and be silly and do weird things like become worms. Yeah, male Mercy. Yeah. This is going to be expanded on more later. I'm getting ahead of myself, if I'm honest. But yeah, even in this bit where Sayori's trying to comfort Monica, Monica's still she's still pretty upset. She's still she doesn't want to disappoint Sayori. Again, I don't know how well it comes across, but like Monica cares about Sayori's feelings and doesn't want to disappoint her, and yeah, Yuri here coming in with like, hey, this is part of the the pro-choice propaganda here. I mean, getting an abortion isn't the end of the world. You can get pregnant again later when you're feeling ready. That's one of messages I would like to get across in this mod. But and yeah, and Natsuki coming back in with Natsuki kind of feels shitty about giving Monica such a hard time earlier when not realizing uh, what a pained state that Monica was in and so on. And comes back with the quintessential DDLC lesson of people who are going to judge you for whatever aren't worth listening to. And we have a bot in chat. I don't know if this is likely ban evader restricted. I'm going to just hit ban on you. Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't even know if that message showed up on the screen in chat there. It was I think Twitch is getting better at recognizing which ones are the bots, and it just doesn't bother showing them to anyone but me. Anyway, moving on. Yeah. So should we take a trip to an abortion clinic or something? Did you see the message? Yeah. I don't think we have to. It would be easier to just delete them. I mean, no one else would have to know that way. But that feels like a scary step too. Like, every time I think about it, I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. Okay. Do you want me to do the deleting for you? No. No, please. I mean, I'm not sure about it yet. I think we need to talk some more about it in private before you make a decision. Okay. Well, hey, we don't have to make a decision right now. We still have time. And, yeah, this is, I do have to say, like, this is a part that I kind of struggled with, because, like when I was writing this, because I'm like, as much as I say that, yes, I kept the silly parts of the mod separate from the serious parts of the mod, there's no way to deal with the subject of abortion without ruffling somebody's feathers. It's gonna upset some people. But at the same time, I can't ignore the fact that knowing Monica, having access to the code, yada yada yada, she would probably jump to finding a coding solution and see about deleting them instead. But that in itself brings in all kinds of other moral, ethical quandaries. It's hell. I mean, the whole debate between pro-choice, pro-life, or so-called pro-life people who want to ban abortion in all cases, and don't think that anyone should ever get abortion. Aborting any of their pregnancies aborted. I mean, it would be better to call them anti-choice than pro-life, really. I mean, typically they're the average pro-life individual doesn't really care about the life of the baby once they're born. They just don't want you to abort it before they're born, and they typically don't try to account for the reasons that someone might want an abortion in the first place. And hey, maybe that person needs help and support, and not being condemned and so on. There's country you have to drive hundreds of miles to an abortion clinic in many parts. It's I hear it's like that in a lot of the U.S. There are a number of states where the pro-life people try to just skirt the laws as much as they can. They're not allowed to close down all abortion clinics, so they just have one in the whole state or something like that. And then they concentrate all the anti-abortion activists in that one spot to give the anyone working there or anyone who visits there a hard time. Um, Although really, all those actors do is just make everything harder for everyone. Make things difficult for people who are already in difficult circumstances. Yeah, there's a lot I could say about that, but um, the point I'm getting at, sorry, the reason I brought all that up was, people like that are going to, they're going to have a hard time. They're, they're not going to like the fact that I'm talking about dele- deleting the fetus here, um, like like using the phrase "delete them" in the same way that DDLC refers to deleting people is sort of in itself a tacit admission of that yes, it's a person that's being deleted or a potential person, I suppose. Mm. And yeah, like all the difficulty that uh, 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 all the difficult moral ethical stuff that goes along with that. Um, yeah, and so I wrestled with that while I was writing this. I was wondering maybe instead of having the phrase "delete them," like uh, maybe Monica has a variable in her character file which says pregnancy true, pregnant true or false. Just set the variable to false, and then she'd struggle with that. But I don't know. Like I don't. Does that make it any better? Probably not. I don't know. I kind of went back and forth on that. I don't know what is the most sensitive way to deal with the issue. If I'm honest, I like, and frankly, I can basically guarantee there's no way to address the issue that's going to satisfy everybody. Um, it's a difficult topic, and I like to think, or at least I like to hope that um, conveyed some of the difficulty in that. Like um, I mean, like if I wanted to expand the conflict, I could have had one of the characters here be pro-life and start an actual argument about that. That's not really the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to show everyone in the club being supportive of Monica, Um, anyway, I'm gonna move on. Well, hey, we don't have to make a decision right now. We still have time. Yeah, we can't take too long, though. I mean, I like to decide before Monica places her hands over her abdomen, before I show. Okay, I'm sure we can do that. Well, I think I speak for everyone here when I say we'll support you no matter what choice you make. Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, girls. Hey, you know what? I think it's time for a group hug. Oh, you don't have to. Oh, okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Tormuse mod if there wasn't a group hug initiated by Sayuri. Well, that's not exactly true. Hmm. But a clear majority of my mods have, have a group hug initiated from Sayuri. I've made 9 mods so far, if you can believe it. Storm and Turquoise, funnily enough, the two serious mods don't have a group hug initiated by Sayuri. I mean, Turquoise does sort of have a group hug at one point. I guess Natsuki and Yuri hug Sayuri in that one scene. But Sayuri doesn't initiate it though. But anyway, I don't know. I just like hugs, I guess. And moving right along. It's gonna be okay, Monica. No matter what, we'll make sure it's okay. Yeah, we're all here for you. Yes, all of us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Oh geez, I feel so much better now. I guess I didn't realize how much that was weighing on me. Yeah, the best as a friends, yeah. Maybe this is a good time for us all to go read on our own for a bit. Yeah, sounds good. I think I need a break. The rest of the club session passes uneventfully. Eventually, it's time to go home. Yeah, that's me going, I don't know how to wrap up the scene. um, they just buggered off for a while, and then the session ended. I kind of just wanted to jump ahead to the scene with Monica and Sayori talking about it afterward. Monica and Sayori are holding hands as they walk home. Aw, they're holding hands. There's a certain tension in the air between them. We're heading to your place today, right? Yeah. Are you feeling okay? I'm really sorry. Huh? For what? For making you feel like you couldn't talk to me about how you were feeling. No, no, please, don't blame yourself. I didn't even really know what I was feeling myself. Like, it's just kind of been creeping up on me for these past few weeks. But I should have told you how I feel too. If I'd known how scared you were, I would have told you that I'm scared too. To be honest, the only reason I haven't completely fallen apart is I keep telling myself we're in this together. Yeah, I know what you mean. I could never in a million years do this on my own. But more than that, like, even though I'm worried about the future, I can't get over the fact that I'm carrying your child. Monica cradles her abdomen with her free hand. Like, I have a part of you inside me, and I can't imagine anything more beautiful. Yeah, I know what you mean. I love you. I love you too. Monica and Sayori lean in and give each other a quick kiss. But I have to ask, when were you planning to tell Yuri and Natsuki that you're pregnant too? I thought you were going to tell them. Yeah, there's an additional layer of reveals there. I just like being unexpected. Yeah, it turns out both of them were pregnant all along, but they made it all about Monica's pregnancy and just completely spaced out of the fact that Sayori's pregnant too. I was wondering why Monica was the only one who was pregnant first. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I thought you were going to tell them. Me? You said to follow your lead. Uh-huh. Then why did you say Monica's pregnant instead of we're pregnant? I don't know. You said I'm, and then you froze up, and I panicked. And that's just what came out. I'm sorry. I hope you're not mad at me. It's fine, Sayori. I think we were both pretty frazzled. I'll tell them tomorrow, and I'll try not to screw it up this time. It's okay. I can't really blame you for not saying it. It'll be a little awkward making announcements 2 days in a row, but hey, maybe it'll be easier now that I've softened Natsuki up. Hope you're not still upset about that. It's fine. We knew Natsuki was going to make some snarky remark. I was prepared for it. Sort of. Wait, hold on. If we're telling them about me being pregnant, does this mean you're keeping your baby? I mean, if you're thinking of, deleting the baby, then we should probably delete both of them, right? Oh, geez, don't say deleting the baby. That makes it feel so much worse. Oh, sorry. What should I say instead? Yeah, if they were hermaphrodites, worms, my logic was they'd both have to get pregnant, right? I mean, not necessarily. I have there is at least one species of flatworm that is hermaphroditic, and mating is a little interesting in that each worm is trying to get the other one pregnant, but doesn't want to get pregnant themselves. The biologists who study this phenomena refer to it as penis fencing. They basically, each one is trying to stab the other, so to speak. So yeah, it's not. It doesn't necessarily mean that both of them get pregnant in when it comes to worms. Says fair pregnancies suck. I mean, yeah. So you say. I mean, I'm cis male. Obviously, I'm never going to get pregnant. But I do sort of like to imagine that, it would. Okay, setting aside all the discomforts that come with pregnancy, I have to imagine that there's also a cozy feeling of connection with the child growing inside oneself that. makes the bond with the child that much stronger, if that makes sense. And in a way, I'm sort of envious of women for being able to get pregnant, I suppose. Hey, and welcome to the stream, L Monica's. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm playing a DDLC mod that I made. Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I can't say I know what it's like to be pregnant, so it's like I don't know. These are just things that I imagine. These are things I think about. Anyway, shoot, what was I gonna say? Um, I love this line. I don't know. You said I'm, and then you froze up, and I panicked, and that's just what came out. Sorry, tried to explain herself after the fact. I thought you were going to tell them. It kind of puts the entire conversation in another light. That both Sayuri and Monica spent the entire conversation kind of looking at each other, wondering like, are you gonna tell them? Are you gonna tell them? But none of them willing to say it out loud. uh, and they're like just internally doing that the whole time. I don't know. That just sort of amuses me. Incidentally, there's an ad break coming up in 4.5 minutes. Apparently, I didn't make it through the mod in the space of an hour, alas, but that's fine. When the ad break comes up, I'll pause it. Yeah, so you won't miss anything. Anyway, moving right along. What should I say instead? I don't know. Ending the pregnancy, something like that. I mean, I know I'm just playing with semantics here, but I'm uncomfortable enough about the whole thing as it is without those reminders. Go ad break. Yeah. Yep. Sorry. Capitalism says they have to make money. There's a mod of DDLC. Yes, this is a mod. The mod is called Would You Love Me? It's available now. I actually just released it yesterday. I wrote it. I commissioned art for it. I'm not going to claim it's my best work. I mean, I've made not 9, count them, 9 mods so far. This is my 9th mod. It's just a sort of a short throwaway project kind of thing that I made. I wanted to do a little developer commentary of it. Anyway, moving on. I mean, I know I'm just playing with semantics here, but I'm uncomfortable enough about the whole thing as it is without those reminders. Okay, so do you think I should end my pregnancy too? Well, I mean, regardless of what I do about my pregnancy, it's up to you what you do with yours. I can't make that decision for you. Your body, your choice, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's saying my body, my choice is the typical tagline of, the whole like pro-choice movement when it comes to abortion. Have you thought about doing something special for a 10th mod? I mean, no. I don't have anything planned for a 10th mod. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'll release a 10th mod. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Everything's up in the air. But yeah, Monica driving that pro-choice thing home here. Moving right along. Your body, your choice, right? Well, sure, but I've always told myself that if I was going to have kids, I want 2 of them so they can play together. And that's part of why I was so excited that we both got pregnant at the same time. So, if you don't want to have your baby, then I don't want to have mine either. Oh. Another long pause. Yeah, just letting that difficult emotion sink in. Like Monica looking very uncomfortable. Like she's realizing that, like, because she was already feeling guilty about the prospect of possibly getting an abortion, and now she has an extra reason to feel guilty about it because, like, not only was Sayuri super excited about this, but she's like talking about getting an abortion herself, and like that whole bit about we should probably delete both of them. And Monica's like, oh, don't say it like that. Like that actually that arose from one of my playtesters, like saying like, you really want to use the phrase "delete the baby" in there? That sounds kind of horrible. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? So maybe I'll just I I didn't I wasn't sure how to work it in there without, I don't know, like I wasn't sure how to work it in there uh, in like 100% most sensitive way. So I just sort of lampshaded it. Had Sairi still say the line, but Monica say, "Don't say that." um, you know, incidentally, ad break coming up in 10 minutes. Well, okay, ad break is imminent. When it shows on here, I'll just pause it and take a break. I'll just but yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? Um, yeah, that whole thing about I'd want to have two of them so they can play together. That's actually something that I believe. Like if I was going to have kids, I'd want to have two of them. I think it's a good number to have. Um, but yeah, like Sairi and Monica having a very uncomfortable conversation here, basically. Like, sort of like Monica's the thing that she most has most dreaded all along here. um, anyway, moving on. Sorry, I mean, I don't mean to put pressure on you. No, no, that's okay. I understand. This is our first time really talking about this. I didn't mean to give you the impression that I'm. Oh, ad break. I'll be back. And I'm back again. Yeah, sorry about that. Where was I? Oh yeah, yeah. They just had that exchange about uh, um, Sari suggesting that she was gonna get an abortion too, or the equivalent, the in-game equivalent thereof, I suppose. Anyway, moving on. I didn't mean to give you the impression that I'm definitely going to end my pregnancy. I've just been going through a roller coaster of emotions lately, and I'm just having trouble processing them. But I'll tell you what I'm sure of. I've always been pro-choice. I believe it's every woman's right to choose what they do with their body, but I've also always known what my choice would be. And I want to have this baby. Yeah? Yeah. You don't have to make a decision right now. I know. But really, all that stuff I said about cribs and baby clothes and so on is just a matter of logistics and organizing. I'm good at that. The only thing that actually makes this difficult for me is worrying about how everyone is going to react. But you know what? After today, I'm thinking maybe I can handle it after all. Really? Yeah. It may be scary, but with you by my side, I know we can do it. Together. Oh, Monty, I'm so happy to hear you say that. I love you. I love you so, so much. Monica and Sari give each other a passionate kiss before settling into holding each other. Aw. Yeah. This is another thing that I went back and forth on in this. Like, my initial idea for this was to leave it ambiguous about whether or not Monica actually decided to, you know, abort her child, delete his fetus. um, like I thought I might leave it ambiguous about whether she keeps it or not. Um, like part of me wanted to just be ambiguous about it, so I sort of like, I don't know, didn't take a definite stand, I guess. I don't know. I ultimately I decided it's better to have her keep the baby after all, for a number of reasons. Um, the main one being that there are a lot of so-called pro-life or anti-choice folks who kind of they treat pro-choice people as if they want all abortions all the time, which is ridiculous. But that, I don't know, that's part of the anti-choice propaganda, I guess. Um, it's like, it's obviously wrong, frankly, but there are people who seem to genuinely believe that, and I wanted to show that you can be pro-choice and still choose to keep the child. Like, being pro-choice does not mean automatic abortion, um, being pro-choice means being pro-choice. It means choosing. It means you are in favor of having a choice about whether to do it or not. So that's what I went with. And yeah, this is a little at odds with the message in the previous scene where they're like, we need to have more conversations about this before we make a decision. And this is our first time talking about it. To go from that to, okay, I'm going to decide right now. So it's that bit of it is a little awkward. That's why Sayuri has a line that, you don't have to make a decision right now. But I did also want to convey, because again, this whole mod is about Monica's character development. I did want to convey that part of the reason that Monica was struggling so much with this is that she's scared of other people's reactions. She's scared of being judged. And after After successfully facing Natsuki, she's kind of like, you know what? Maybe I can handle it after all. um, anyway, moving right along. You know, After all the stress and excitement today, I think we should do something fun together. What do you think of trying out my new bed? Uh, I mean, if you want. We don't have to. It was just an idea. Never mind. Monica slowly pulls away from Sayori. Sorry, I just still feel weird about it. I know, I shouldn't have mentioned it. I'm sorry. It's okay. Another long pause. Here, I'm being deliberately mysterious. Um, I'm clearly depicting a source of tension, like they're both looking away from each other, but the audience I'm deliberately leaving the audience in the dark about why this is a source of tension for them. And what's this about a new bed? Like what? What is Sayori getting at here? But that's going to be revealed in the coming dialogue here. Anyway. Monica, can I ask you something? Go ahead, Sayori. Why did you tell Natsuki and Yuri about the worm thing? You didn't have to. We could have just pretended our pregnancies were a coding error or something. Well, I guess I just wanted to be honest. Yuri and Natsuki are our closest friends, and I trust them with the truth. I see. Can I ask you something else? I think I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. Why did you tell them we only did it once? Dun dun dun, and there's another layer of reveals. And again, this is another one of those things that Monica has been dreading for this entire mod, and it's finally come up. That it was not actually just a one-time thing like she said it was. She didn't want to admit it. Like, as soon as Natsuki started razzing her about it, she just completely fell apart and was like, "Ah, it's an accident. Ah, I don't know how it happened." But yeah. Anyway, moving on. Why did you tell them we only did it once? And can we talk about it? Like, really talk about it? Okay. Every time we become worms, you say afterward, we can never do this again. And then every time, a few days later, you're like, hey, can we be worms for a few hours tonight? Why can't you just admit that you enjoy it? Sayori, do you know what I love the most about you? Oh, I don't know. I wonder that myself sometimes. I mean, I wonder about that a lot, actually. I love that you remind me that it's okay to be silly and not take things too seriously sometimes. You know how my parents are, always pressuring me to be the best at everything. I always have to be their little Miss Perfect. And it doesn't stop when I get to school. I have to be class star Monica all the time, who always behaves and never makes mistakes. And my teachers expect it, and my classmates expect it, and everyone expects it, and it's just too much. When I'm with you is the only time I feel like I can relax. And you can't imagine how freeing it is that I can just be myself around you and not have to keep up the act. And, well, you've been encouraging me to be more open around Yuri and Noski, and I guess I just wanted to try. I mean, your idea to tell them about the game turned out to be a good one, so I thought maybe I'd try trusting them with this too. It was hard, but I think overall I'm glad I did it. Even if Noski made it super embarrassing. Aw, I don't think she meant it to be hurtful or anything. It's fine. I get why she'd want to razz me about it. I probably deserve it, really, considering how I look down on her for her manga. I hate that I used to do that. It's just old habits I want to break away from. And you're doing a really good job of it. Thank you, Sayori. And thank you for trusting me with being yourself. No, thank you for being so supportive. I couldn't do it without you. This, yes, star student Monica. She is perfect every way. God, how I would love to get a chance with the most popular program in school. Yeah. that whole Monica after storyline. But Yeah, this whole line of stuff is just, again, ties in with the whole underlying theme of the mod, and really the underlying theme of all of DDLC, really. That like there is a recurring theme throughout DDLC about people worrying about being judged for having unusual interests and so on. You know, Natsuki's worried about people who react to her manga. Yuri's, worried about people who people's reactions to her own interests, like maybe her knives, maybe other things. Um, and here, Monica is just sort of internally crumbling under the weight of the expectations of being, class star Monica and Miss Perfect or whatever. um, and just generally being afraid of being judged and so on. Um, and yeah, like this comment here, I probably deserve it for looking down on her for a manga. I hate that I used to do that. Old habits I want to break away from. Like, it's sort of, giving some hints of Monica's backstory here, that she's, this you know preppy girl who looks down on people who are different from her, and maybe she looks down on Natsuki for manga and so on, and maybe she feels like she deserves having a bit of comeuppance, so she can't even really fault Natsuki for it. Anyway, moving on. Thank you for being so supportive. I couldn't do it without you. Aw, I love you. I love you too. Monica and Sayuri lean in and give each other a quick kiss. And as for the bed, I still can't believe you built that thing. I just wanted to help. It was a fun project making a tiny bed. It's like a piece of 2D art. You mean 3D? Yeah, that. I don't get why it's a problem, though. My regular bed is too big for us when we're worms. Wouldn't a tiny bed be better? And there it is. This is the thing about the new bed. Sayuri built a tiny bed for them for when they turn to worms. And this bit about 2D art, you mean 3D, is sort of a nod to there is a line in the original DDLC where Monica makes a comment about people being three-dimensional, and MC means you mean two-dimensional, which is itself sort of tacit acknowledgement of the fact that the entire game is 2D. They're just 2D sprites on a 2D background, which I don't know. If you really want to go down that rabbit hole, it opens up a lot of questions about the world building. But it is in itself one of the many bits of foreshadowing that Monica is more aware of the nature of their world than she lets on. But I digress. I just sort of this slide was a bit of a nod to that. Sayuri's still stuck in 2D thinking, while Monica's acknowledging that actually it's 3D. Anyway, moving right along. My regular bed is too big for us when we're worms. Wouldn't a tiny bed be better? Well, yeah, I guess. But I don't know, it's different. It just feels different. I mean, when we became worms the first time, it was totally spontaneous. It was just this silly, weird, fun thing we did in the spur of the moment. But it feels different if it's something we plan to do. And like, that bed represents the idea that we didn't just plan it, but we put work into it. And that just, I don't know, it feels uncomfortable to me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I know, you were just trying to help. I guess I'm just used to worrying about how people will react if they find out. It's hard to break away from that mindset, always worrying about what will people think, what will people say. Because I know for a fact that there are certain people who are just waiting for class star Monica to fall from her pedestal. It's the same reason Natsuki gave me a hard time today. No, Natsuki's not like that. She didn't make fun of you, she made fun of me. That's just how it always is. Everyone's waiting for me to slip up so they can tear me down, making it sound like everyone hates you. That's not true. That's just what people do. That's how it always is. And you have no idea how stressful it is that I constantly have to be on guard watching everything I say, or how scary it is being judged all the time. Well, if anyone judges you, then they're just a bunch of meanies. They don't know you. They don't know how hard you work. I don't just mean your schoolwork. I mean stuff like your poetry. It's so rare that you really let yourself be yourself. But when you do, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. You have so much love for the world and everyone in it, both here in the game and out in the real world. And you keep it all hidden away. And I know you're scared, but I still think it's sad that no one else gets to see the most beautiful parts of you. And the idea that anyone would make fun of you or hurt you for it is just, rah! Can't you people see how amazing Monica is? Every time I look at her, I feel like my heart's gonna explode. You are so cute when you get angry on my behalf. Don't make fun. I'm being serious. I know, and thank you. You're incredibly sweet. Rah, yeah. Yeah. Um, Sayuri demonstrating her willingness to go to bat for Monica and defend her and be protective of her and so on in her own way. Um, and yeah, like Natsuki kind of, ripping into Monica a bit, like jumping on the chance to make fun of her. Is kind of Monica's worst fears coming true, kind of thing. Well, maybe not her worst fears, but one of her fears coming true. That's part of why she like fell apart as soon as Natsuki, uh, so much as questioned it. Um, it's like, she didn't make fun of you, she made fun of me. Like this is how it always is. This is like um, a big part of the source of Monica's internal conflict, that she's like she's constantly living in fear of people finding out what she's really like. uh, and I mean, like from Monica's perspective, it's um, like she's already afraid of, you know letting people in, in terms of like talking about her own feelings, let alone really weird stuff like um, the whole worm thing. It's like it's like in her mind it's just this deep dark thing that she wants to remain buried. But anyway, moving right along. Don't make fun. I'm being serious. I know, and thank you. You're incredibly sweet. Natsuki was right about one thing. If someone is judging you, just ignore them. If those people can't understand what a good person you are, that's their problem, not yours. I can't just ignore them when those people include my parents and teachers. You're probably right. Sorry. It's easy to forget sometimes how hard it is for you. It's okay. You've been great about making things easier for me. I just wish I could do more. I wish things could be different for you, because it's just sad. Sayuri, you've done more for me than you can ever know. What I said to Yuri today is true. I like becoming a worm because it's a relief to just stop being human for a while and to just forget about all my human troubles. But more than that, I like doing it together with you. Because you are my safe place where I can be myself. And I can be vulnerable with you in every way. Physically, emotionally, spiritually. And you still love me, still accept me, still won't judge me. That first time we became worms, I tried to brush it off as some silly thing, but I can barely begin to express how much it meant to me. And I guess the reason I wanted to do it again is I've been trying to recapture that feeling ever since. Because when my awareness of the world goes away, there's nothing but you. And you become my world. And I am, no, don't cry. You're going to make me cry too. I can't help it. It's probably the hormonal changes from the pregnancy. Yeah, probably. I love you. I love you too. Monica and Sayori take each other in their arms and hug tightly. Yeah. Um, so, yeah. This is basically Monica opening up for the first time, like for the actual first time to Sayori about her reasons for liking it. Up to this point, she's just kind of been like standoffish about it. Uh, she so like she'll say once in a while, "Hey, do you think we could do that again tonight? You know, just for fun." And then afterward, being like, haha, we can never do that again, ha ha ha. You know, like, and you can sort of Sayori for a part. She's like, she'll, you know, she's supportive of it. She'll put up with it. She'll go along with it. Uh, and but is maybe afraid to question it because like she sees that it makes Monica happy, but she also sees that Monica's afraid to admit that it makes her happy because Monica is afraid to talk about it because of what what it represents about losing her place as Miss Perfect and so on. Because again, because her parents impressed the notion of her that she has to be perfect and uh, like to a point that she's so wound tight that the idea of being imperfect scares her. But at the same time, um, she had this like deep, like almost spiritual experience of um, I did this I did this super weird thing and Sayori was completely okay with it, and holy crap, that made me realize how much I love her, kind of deal, kind of reaction. And her reason for doing it again is, or for wanting to do it repeatedly, was like she's trying to recapture that feeling. Because this is the part which is like I went into this mod knowing like this is a weird concept. This is a weird mod. This whole notion of they're choosing to turn themselves into worms, like what? Like as Natsuki put it, like, yeah, not gonna lie, if I could turn myself into any animal, worm wouldn't be my first choice. That was her line. Like, it's weird. It's out there. You know, this is my valiant attempt to bring it back to like, hey, this is she does have a reason for it. I mean, whether anyone in the audience is going to be able to relate to that reason is, it's your mileage may vary. I mean, I expect that most people aren't going to comprehend where I'm coming from with this. It's just weird. It's just bizarre. But hey, maybe some people will get it. She has this weird thing that she's able to share with the person she loves. I completely understand. Yeah, cool. um, and she likes having the opportunity to to share this super unusual thing that nobody else knows about with the person that she loves. Um, yeah. Also, somebody made the comment um, that it's kind of funny that they're talking about it as though it's a kink, um, which I suppose is technically accurate. I mean, I didn't actually really have kink in mind when I when I wrote this. I was just trying to write it as a, I don't know, supernatural escapist fantasy kind of deal. Even though I mean, coming out from an unusual direction, like, yeah, sure, there do exist, plenty of people out there who might fantasize about having magical powers and maybe having the ability to turn themselves into an animal uh, it would appeal to a lot of people. Turning into a worm, though, like, really? That's a hard sell, I don't know if I sold it right. I mean, hey, Seltzerbot, if you say you completely understand, cool. Maybe I did my job at least halfway decently. I'm sorry for joking that it's a kink. I probably really want to say, oh no, it's perfectly valid. No, I mean, arguably that's what it is. I mean, it's um, as much as I want to focus on the emotional connection between the characters when they do this, the plot of the mod did stem from the fact that yes, they did have sex when they're doing this. So arguably yes, since since I mean, I don't know what is even the definition of kink. What is kinky? Like, it's something, an unusual sexual fetish or whatever. Like, I'm not trying. I'm not trying to make it all about sex here. Darn it! Like, this is Monica having some sort of awakening. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little pretentious and calling it some kind of spiritual awakening, but she did have some realization of like, holy crap, when my awareness of everything except Sairi goes away, I realize how much I love her, kind of reaction to it. um, and that in itself also depends on how willing the audience is to buy into the notion of Sairi and Monica being in a loving relationship in the first place. And this is a short mod. That was one of the other things in the review that I alluded to got at, was that they didn't feel like I sold the idea of Sairi and Monica being in a loving relationship very well. Which, again, your mileage may vary. It's a short story. I did my best. It's 600 lines. What can you do? There's only so much I can convey in 600 lines. It's less. It's like 560 lines. But what am I trying to say here? There's a certain art. There's in writing a short story. And making it emotionally resonant with the audience. It's not going to resonate with everyone, and you know what? I'm fine with that. Like, these are bizarre, out there concepts that are not going to resonate with a lot of people, quite frankly. I did my best. I tried to convey this notion that Monica has a reason for wanting to do this. And it's not just some weird kink or whatever, although maybe that's part of it. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, it's a hard sell. It's not like, I'm not saying that, oh, if you don't get it, that means there's something wrong with you, because my story is great. It's like, no, I acknowledge this is something that this is just going to be too weird for a lot of people, and no matter how I write it, I'm never going to be able to do it in a way that's going to appeal to those people. And if so, it's not for them. I'm basically I'm encouraging the audience to go on a wild ride and indulge some very strange concepts. Yeah, it's whatever. It is what it is. I'm gonna move on. You know, I feel kind of dumb now. Huh? What do you mean? You have all these deep-sounding reasons for wanting to be worms? I just like it because I get to play Big Spoon without getting a face full of hair. What? Sorry, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love your hair. Your hair is so pretty. But whenever we cuddle, it kind of gets everywhere. So it's kind of neat that when you're a worm, you're totally bald. Oh, Siri, you're so funny. It wasn't that funny, was it? No, I was just thinking. How do you think my parents would react if I shaved myself bald one day? They'd probably lose their minds. No, don't do it just because I said the thing about spooning. I'm not going to do it. I'm just joking. I'm not going to do it. I just have to laugh at that kind of thing sometimes, you know? Another pause to let that sink in. She's, you know, have to laugh at that kind of thing sometimes. It's sort of hinting at tension between her and her parents. Anyway. I still think they'll come around eventually. Just give them time. Yeah, I know. Well, they're not going to have time. They're still not over the fact that their precious daughter is dating a girl. And now they're going to have to deal with the fact that she's pregnant. You're lucky your parents are so accepting. Yeah, I know. Well, Sari takes Monica's hand. I still accept you. Yeah, I know. Thank you. And we will figure this out. You're braver than you realize. I remember when you were still too scared to hold hands in public. And I remember when you were still too scared to kiss in public. Monica and Sari lean in and give each other a quick kiss. I know you're scared right now, but I also know that we're definitely going to get through this. Because we can accomplish anything when we work together. And I'll be here for you to help you be brave. Thank you, Sari. That means a lot to me. Yeah. A couple things I wanted to comment on there. Yeah. I don't know. Something about Sari coming away from the, Monica's, like, decidedly deep reasons for wanting to become worms with, yeah, I just liked spooning without getting a face full of hair. Because Monica does have long hair. I have to sort of imagine that, yeah. And I don't know. Hey, Riddle's here. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Yeah, and to be clear, spooning it means hugging someone from behind, basically. But, playing big spoon, like spoons in a spoon drawer. You put the little one on top of the big one, so they fit together. Monica's a remarkable head of hair, yeah. So basically, Sari is saying, like, whenever she gives Monica a hug from behind, she gets a face full of hair, and it's like, oh hey, worms, no hair, all right. I don't know. That just idea sort of amused me. And also, yeah, it leads into Monica hinting, how do you think my parents would actually shape myself bald one day? Leaning into this notion that Monica is starting to get comfortable with, like, rebelling against her parents. And, yeah, they're not over the fact their precious daughter's dating a girl. Like, there's some implied homophobia from her parents. Like, they didn't want Monica to be dating a girl. And that was, like, a big step for her. Like, admitting that she, was in a relationship with Sari. And Sari going on about like, I remember when you were still too scared to hold hands in public and still too scared to kiss in public. Like, like it's I'm trying to convey this notion that Monica's, like, she's come a long way in the time that that she's been in the relationship with Sari. Like maybe there was a one time, like this story takes place. It is a short story, as I said. It's a brief cross section of their relationship. at some point, maybe several months into it, maybe longer, who knows. Um, and like this is, I'm just trying to convey that yeah, that Monica's come a long way. Like she was afraid to admit that she had feelings for a girl at one point, and like the idea of like, oh, holding hands in public, oh no, what will people think, you know, um, and sort of coming out of her shell, as it were, um, and like the whole thing in the club room scene, like talking to Yuri and Natsuki about the whole worm thing. That was that's sort of part of it. Like she's trying to take more steps. She's trying to push herself out of her comfort zone. She's trying to do things that scare her. She's trying to push herself uh, uh, um, to do the things that she's always been scared to do because she was so you know high strung, caught up in this idea of I have to please my parents. I have to please my parents. I can't disappoint my parents. I have to be perfect. I have to be all this, that, and the other thing. And and like basically, this is it's trying to paint a picture of Monica trying to be um, more comfortable in her own skin, more comfortable in with herself, with doing things that she was previously told she should never do. And yeah, and these last few lines here, we're definitely going to get through this. We can accomplish anything when we work together. I'll be here with you to help you be brave. Uh, I'll be honest. I wrote those lines because I wrote this some months ago, before finally getting around to deciding, maybe I will release it after all. Um, I wrote that like in the wake of Donald Trump winning the presidency. Wow, that was a weird Freudian slip. Uh, presidency of the U.S. Um, like oh crap, dark times are ahead, and I wanted to put a line in there. We can accomplish anything when we work together. I'll be here with you to help you be brave. Just sort of a generalized reminder, even though this is a completely different context. That's what I had in mind when I wrote those lines. Um, don't forget we're in this together, um, and we have to support each other, help each other be brave. Um, you know, Apropos with the possibility of like everyone in the U.S. losing their abortion rights. you know, because that's the direction. I mean, among other things, among all kinds of other problems, um, and rights that are rapidly being eroded. um, but we won't get too much into that right now. I'm gonna move along. Sorry, where was I? Thank you, sire. That means a lot to me. Oh, what the hell? Let's go test out the bed. Really? Yeah, like you said, we should do something to take our minds off all the stress. Plus, it would be a shame to let all your work go to waste. It's a cute little bed. But do you think we could actually just cuddle this time? Sure, if I get to play Big Spoon. Of course. Yay! I love you, Monty. I love you too, Siri. Even if I was a worm, especially if you were a worm. The end. I don't know about you, but I think that's a cute picture. It's also done by Nuxel. I commissioned him to draw a tiny bed that looks like it was made by Sayuri. You can see I like these little details, like this little scotch tape on the cardboard, like you can sort of imagine Sayuri taping together this little bits of cardboard to make this makeshift bed. Oh yeah, adorable, yeah. And presumably that's Monica on the left, and Sayuri is like cuddling up to her, and she put a little heart on it. It's adorable. And a little, I guess it's like a piece of felt for the blanket. Um, but yeah, that's that's as much art as I was willing to add to the mod. Uh, I rather liked how that turned out, and oh yeah, and the logo, of course. It's I don't know, it's cute. I I mean, I confess. I mean, I like. I have an appreciation for life in all its forms. I like all kinds of animals, and and stuff. I don't. I wouldn't say I normally think of worms as being cute, but I gotta say, Nuxel managed to draw some cute worms. I have to. I have to admit. Love the look, especially with their ribbons and bows. Yeah, and they're like periscoping up to look at each other. It's yeah. It's a cute image. Yeah, I do have to say, like, I repositioned the sprites so that Monica is next to Sayuri. It really makes you conscious. Like, it makes it a little weird when they're next to each other, actually, because Monica's hand is so much larger than Sayuri's hands, because she's reaching out towards. She's supposed to be reaching out towards the player, like in the original image, but I try to resize them to make it look as little weird as possible. Monica's like, even though I like enlarged Monica to make at least their heads the same size. Monica's head still looks a little smaller. I don't know. These are nitpicky things that I look at it. Like I tweaked this so many times before I reached this point. It's like, that's probably good enough. Anyway, but yeah, that was Would You Love Me? Yeah, I wasn't like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to release it. Like I was kind of went back and forth about it. Like this is a weird concept. This is a weird mod. Am I really thinking of turning this into a mod? Like, what am I doing? But then again, I was like, when have I let that stop me before? I'm no stranger to controversy. I'm the owner of the most controversial post in the DDLC mods subreddit's history, referring to the gay lesbian club mod. So I was like, whatever. If people want to give me a hard time about it, they can go ahead. I can take it. What else is new? I mean, honestly, as I always like to say, it's normal for different people to like different things. Some people are going to like it. Some people are going to dislike it. If some people dislike it, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. Whatever, to each their own. And this is one I really, really don't expect. I really don't expect everyone to like it, Hi, Scooby, welcome to the stream. I'm finally here for something and it's almost over, isn't it? Oh, yep, you missed it. Apologies for that. I mean, I'm just on my last Tormuse tangent here. Just rambling for the last time. Thank you for taking on more Steve ideas. Yeah. Thanks. It's literally all of the tail streams. Yeah. I mean, you can't be blamed for that. I stream at weird times. I think it would do me some good to have a regular streaming schedule, but I don't know. I'm just bad at getting these off the ground when I intend to. But yeah, yeah, no pressure. Yeah. But that was Would You Love Me? Yeah. I considered calling it Would You Still Love Me to go in, along with the the original meme is Would You Still Love Me If I Was a Worm? But I think the logo looks better with shorter and punchier Would You Love Me? Plus, I like how the O's are united. That's kind of neat. That's Nuxel's work there. Yeah, it's I think I just feel like it looks cleaner as "Would you love me" instead of "Would you still love me." Plus the acronym WYLM WYLM fits better without the S in the middle ruining it. I just like the acronym better too. I just generally liked the title "Would you love me" more than "Would you still love me." But yeah. Um, what else can I say about this mod? Um, I, abortion is a human right, as far as I'm concerned. Again, I know for some people that's a controversial topic. I do think it's important and valuable for people to have safe access, access to safe abortion. You know, it is a medical procedure which is done for the health of the health of the would-be mother. Um, and really, like the pro-life crowd or the anti-choice crowd, whatever you want to call them, like really, if they want to put an end to an abortion, they need to get better about supporting the parents and like recognizing the reasons why people want to get abortions in the first place. And frankly, they also need to get more comfortable with sex education. Because if you really want to uh, 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 if you really want to prevent accidental pregnancies, then sex education is the way to go. If people know what they're doing, then they're not going to get accidentally pregnant as frequently. I mean, you know, I'm not going to say that it's going to 100% rule out accidental pregnancies, but it's like it's a step in the right direction. And the pro-life people are typically in a they're typically like um, you know, Christian fundamentalist types who are all about abstaining from sex, um, and that's statistically shown to not be, you know, an effective means of preventing pregnancy. Um, which I don't know, for some people might not seem logical, but it's true. The um, teaching teaching kids, teenagers, how to use condoms or how is more effective at preventing accidental pregnancies than telling them, oh, you should just never have sex. Because telling them they should never have sex, you're pitting yourself against the collective sex drives of a bunch of horny teenagers, and that's just statistically shown to not be very effective. Having baby is arguably the biggest decision one can make in their entire life, so giving the option to abort is super important if they're not ready or conceived in a way that wasn't in their full consent. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. It's yeah, and there's also the fact that the world in general is facing overpopulation. Quite frankly, I mean, um, you know, there's you know rampant starvation in some parts of the world, and yeah, okay, there are all kinds of other socioeconomic reasons for that, but like yeah, overpopulation is part of it, and like having access to abortion, it like also helps with that issue. I don't know. This is me getting on my soapbox. These are just, you know, it's my left wing propaganda being thrown out there. These are just issues that I feel strongly about, and you know, felt like I wanted to touch on in the mod. Like, I could have put a big conversation in the middle of this about, you know, pro-choice versus pro-life, um, and you know, made a big thing about that, but like I just wanted to tell a story. I wanted to tell a story about a group of friends being supportive of each other in unusual circumstances, um, and like struggling with the question about getting abortion or not was part of that. Um, but I've already had enough accusations of getting too preachy in my VODs, so I figured I'd like have the abortion issue in there without delving into the nitty gritty details of the socio-political implications of that, and save that part of the conversation like for the comments or this commentary, for instance. So yeah, and point exactly. There's already 8 billion of us. Why do you want to force more people in this world? Yeah, yeah. Plus, like, I mean, yeah, like why force people to have kids in circumstances where it's like the kid's going to be miserable and have a miserable life, because their parents are not in a situation to support them yet. In this modern economy, people need to be able to take time to get themselves ready for that sort of thing. And thoughts are that giving consciousness to another human is a big deal and should be something you do when you're 100% sure you can do it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agreed. Overpopulation or not, my thoughts wouldn't change. Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, the overpopulation thing was just one part out of many, one factor of many of this sort of thing. I didn't mean to make that like the root of my argument or anything, but yeah. Okay, there's an ad break coming up in 4 minutes, but I think I'm about ready to wrap the stream. So maybe I can just, before the ad break shows up, maybe I can see about who to raid. I probably want to raid somebody. Who's on right now? Okay, I'm thinking of raiding Liz the Fantastic. She's playing Stardew Valley. Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, Stardew Valley is sort of a dating simulator. I mean, it's more than that, but I've been watching that's a necessity a lot. Yeah, yeah. But just generally, Liz the Fantastic. She's a delightful streamer who's worth giving some support. She's just fun to hang out with. Yeah, she's playing Stardew Valley right now. I think she was making it her mission to date all of the characters in Stardew Valley in one game. See how that goes. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Final thoughts about Would You Love Me? Yeah. I don't know, not much more to add than what I already said. Sorry, bear with me here. Shoot, can you just, no, stop. Sorry, just, yeah. Yeah, this has been my attempt to tackle the issue of abortion and everything that surrounds that, but while also wrapping it in a story of Monica's character growth, dealing with overbearing parents, dealing with the pressures that society puts on her, that her parents put on her, that her teachers, that her classmates put on her, and all the difficulties that factor into that, and how that factors into her, how she deals with the pregnancy, how she deals with the subject of abortion. It's like, it's really sort of a character study of Monica, really, in a lot of ways. Yeah, that was a big part of it. I was like, I wanted to like delve into the uh, 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 that whole thing. Um, I did want the core of the story to be like, um, yeah, like character driven, and just all be about Monica's feelings and so on. Hopefully I did that okay. Hopefully it ultimately came across in a heartwarming way. That was the other thing. Um, I wanted to show a cozy, loving relationship. As much as there's some angst in the middle, ultimately have a happy ending. You know, in this loving relationship where they're surrounded by supportive friends, and just have this just happy, cozy thing wrapped around the angst in the middle. Hopefully, I did a good job with that. Um, but yeah, I think that's all I got. That's enough rambling out of me. Next stream, I'm going to be going back to the game I was playing before, The Long Dark. But that's all for now. Until next time.